Okay, welcome back everybody. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two more uh, visual tools for presentations and some simple design work. And the two that we're going to talk about is Google Slides and Microsoft Sway. Now, I should mention that neither of these two tools are nearly as powerful as PowerPoint, but they are quick and they're fairly easy. And when it comes to Google Slides, it is often compatible with PowerPoint, which means you can convert Google Slides presentations to PowerPoint presentations and vice versa, though the animations, transitions, and effects might not be all compatible. So let's start with Google Slides, since we've been on a Google run for a while now. And we're going to just open it by going to our little Google selection of apps and scrolling down to Slides. And so this is what Google Slides looks like. And as when you begin, it's going to have a bunch of templates. Now you can see there's tons of stuff here that we put together using PowerPoint and Google Slides. And so actually the Google Slides symbol is this actual yellow symbol here. This P is actually a PowerPoint file. So it's noticing all of these PowerPoint files and telling us, hey, you can actually edit this if you want. And these are all files that are in our Google Drive. If you want to select a file specifically from Google Drive, you can open it like this, and this is basically just your Google Drive navigator. Another way to do it would just be to, oops, that's Google Ads, to go to your Google Drive and navigate to what you would like to open. Okay? Right, and so we can start with a template. And so you have your templates up here. There's a couple of them that are quite nice. And if you click there, you'll actually open your entire template gallery. This is our templates, and then you've got the general ones that you can kind of explore and search and find all sorts of cool, useful templates to get going. And these are pretty good. And again, if you're not somebody who has a good eye for design aesthetic, pretty much everything in here has been designed by a professional graphic designer, and so should already look pretty good. Just looking off the top of my head, I would say that something like this is not as pretty as something with more pictures. I always suggest more pictures, right? You cannot go wrong with more images and less text, all right? But there's all sorts of things that you can do. Here's a case study template. Here's a consulting proposal template. So we'll just look at this case study template and see what it looks like. And so as you can see, it comes up with all of these slides ready-made, ready to go, and all you need to do is change around the contents, okay? We're going to go back, and let's pick this photo album, because it's a nicer looking template, and we'll see what that looks like. Ooh, very pretty. Yeah, so this is nice. We might want to change some of these colors, but this is looking great. So as you can see, you've got plenty of things, and here you can choose other themes as well to apply. And so if you apply that theme, it's just going to apply that theme to the current template. So it's kind of going to change the look of whatever you have selected. So that's a pretty powerful tool. It's going to change the font colors, the background colors, everything, the kind of look, the effects that are going on in the background. And so this is a very quick way of just applying a theme to your entire document. And yeah, so if you see something that stands out that you particularly like, you can select on that. And otherwise, you can also do this all customized yourself. And so we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, this is how you start with a template if you wanted to do it from that approach. And otherwise, we can also just go and start a blank presentation, which is what we're going to do now. So as you can see, the layout is very similar to PowerPoint. So we've got our slides over here to the left side. Clicking that will create a new slide. If you copy and paste it, you also get a new slide. If you select the blocks in here, like these empty blocks, you can get rid of them with backspace or delete if you want to have something completely blank. And it's going to work in a very similar structure to PowerPoint. So here's you set the background, you can set your themes, and you can set transition effects between the different slides. So let's go ahead and add a background to slide 1, and we're just going to use Google Image Search for now. This is just for showcase, but again, remember guys, you can't use images that you don't have permission for. So let's just pick a few stock images here just for now. believe I recognize this one. I think this one is actually a stock image. It's public domain. So then we've got a second slide over here. We're going to go ahead and insert a, let's insert a theme here. Let's just get this slide. Oops, I lost my picture when I did that. So be careful when doing that. So maybe I can I just apply that theme? No, it doesn't seem that you can apply the theme just to one slide. That's a shame. So that's okay. We'll just go ahead and insert another background image. We'll say this one here, insert. And so just like before, you set the transition on your arrival slide. So here we have dissolve, and you can set the speed. You can either choose to apply it to the entire presentation, so apply to all slides, or just to the current page that you are on. So let's do slide in from the left, and we'll play that to see what that looks like. And so it's going to push it like that, coming in from the side. All right. Click slide or press enter to continue. So I'm going to press enter. I'm going to get out of the preview mode. This little symbol over here is telling us that we have an animation or some sort of effect applied to this slide. You can also animate objects. So let's just go ahead and enter some simple objects here. Just like in PowerPoint, if you hold shift, it's going to lock it to its current aspect ratio. Just like in PowerPoint, you can set the fill color to either a solid or a gradient. And you can also set the line color, right? So if you want no line, you can set it to transparent for the line, right? For the effects, you can set it to have drop shadows. Just everything is going to be very similar to PowerPoint in terms of what you can do. So here's a drop shadow, off and on. Here's a reflection, off and on. And these are all fully customizable, right? So you can have a lot of levels of control over this, all right? So, oops, funny looking guy there. So yeah, so this gives you the idea. It's basically just online PowerPoint. You can do a lot of the same things that you can do in PowerPoint. So we're not going to go into too much detail because again, a lot of this is just repeating what we did in PowerPoint. You've got a photo inputter. You've got a shape that you can use. You've got lines that you can use to connect things. You've got your fill color, your line color, your weight of the line, the border dash. Your font is here, font size. These all you are familiar with. Text color is over here. You can click, you can insert links, add comments. Here's where you choose your alignment, both whether the text is aligned on the page and also how it aligns to the page. If it's aligning to the top of the text box, the middle of the text box, or to the bottom of the text box. Here's your spacing options, and you can go in and do custom spacings if you want. You've got numbers and bullets, indents, and you can format and animate. And so for animations, it's not as there's not as many options as PowerPoint, but as you can see, so you can set it to spin in on a click, and there you go. And so then you set the speed, and you can add another animation if you want. So that one is going to look like this, and there we go. And when we spin, when we click, it's spinning. So there you go. So I'm not going to go through and spend that much time on this because, again, this is really just a different version of PowerPoint. Very, very similar. You title it up here. You can organize its location by clicking on this folder thing and actually organize it so it's not somewhere lost and hard to find. From the file, you can download it as a PowerPoint document. So Microsoft PowerPoint is .pptx, which is great, which means you can just open it exactly in your PowerPoint document. You can also download it as JPEGs or PNGs, which are going to convert the slides, each slide, into a PNG, and you can even convert it to a vector graphic. So you could use this to design a logo and then download it as a vector logo. Although, again, the tools here for designing custom work is a little bit less intuitive than it is in PowerPoint. So PowerPoint is more advanced than this, but this is online and there's no file, right? It's just a link. It's just a thing that's saved on a server in the cloud, which means anybody can come in and work on this together. You can share your work at the same time. You can work on it. You can collaborate together. And then when you're done, you can download it and convert it into PowerPoint if you want, right? So that would be, for me, like a way that you could use this is you could kind of rough up your PowerPoint here and then go into PowerPoint and finalize it later. When you download it, you can also choose to export it as a PDF. And you can also delete it from here. You get your document details here, your page setup, if you wanted to change the aspect ratio or set it to a custom size. And this is very useful if you're designing something that you might print on a particular size book, right? If you're designing a pamphlet or a brochure, you could set up exactly the size that you want for this page, for this design. All right, down here, we've got our slide sorter. So this will allow us to move our slides around, or we can go back to the regular editing view. Here is where you add your speaker notes, just like with PowerPoint. So on the bottom of each slide, you'll have your speaker notes. And of course, when you're ready, you can present. And there you go. And it's going to be into the standard presentation. And at the bottom here, we've got a couple things. People can ask questions. You can have your notes pop up on the screen or not. You can do a laser pointer, so that'll just turn your mouse into a laser pointer. So if you want to illustrate some things, you can do that. You can do full screen or not full screen, and you can have settings, which will give you more options to download, print straight from there. Okay. CC captions as well is going to basically allow you to have your voice displayed on top of your presentation. So just the way Google Meet can do this, Google Slides can do this as well. And so this can be very useful if you're having a meeting with a lot of people. You're all doing a screen presentation together to develop a new document of some sort. This will allow you to have your voice transmitted onto the screen as well. Boy, it's hard to speak while you read your own voice at the same time. So I'll just escape to get out of that. And share is as you would think. You give it a name, so test file. Yep, save. And then it works like any other file on the Google platform. So you either type the name of somebody's email or you set it to just copy with the link. And again, right now it's restricted, which means only people added can access this option, but you can change this to just people within your domain group or anyone with the link. So if you want to share it with people with all sorts of different emails, you'd select anyone with the link, and then you give them the permission that you want. Is just view, is it comment, or is it view and edit and everything? So you set that and then copy that link, and you can send that to whoever you want, however you want. Or you can just click here and send emails to people, and that will actually give them permission to join the file without the link. Okay? So that's going to be it for Google Slide. I almost never use this simply because I find PowerPoint to be a more powerful tool. However, this could be useful if you want to have two people working on it together at the same time, right? With PowerPoint, you would need Microsoft Teams to be able to do that. And we're not going to go through Microsoft Teams because I have never operated a large enough team to have to make Microsoft Teams worthwhile for us. However, this is kind of a good alternative to Microsoft Teams. You could have people working together on a presentation. So somebody's doing images, somebody's doing text, somebody's spell checking, somebody's translating. You could have 4 people working on this at the same time, all live and all online. And they could have their chat bar open in the side, or they could be, in another program doing a voice meeting at the same time. So it's a great collaborative way of doing PowerPoint files all together. Okay. Yeah, so when you're done, we're gonna now switch over to something else, which is totally different. And so I'm just gonna need to sign into my Microsoft account. It looks like, have I downloaded Sway? Okay, so what I want you guys to do is actually go to the Microsoft Store, and I want you guys to search for the program called Sway. And this is actually, there is an app that you can find, and it is free. So I want you to go ahead and install it. And you'll see how fast it is to install. It doesn't take that long. So there we go. And now it does work online as well. So you can just use Sway online. There we go. So we're going to launch Sway. And this is what Sway looks like when you open it. Now, what is Sway? So Sway is interesting. Sway is not PowerPoint. It's not Google Slide. It's not Publisher. It's something in the middle. And for me, the best use that I can think of for Sway is for quickly putting together presentations that you would then share online. And the big thing that Sway is designed to do is it's designed to be embedded into websites or uploaded to on a screen shared group meeting. And so let's just open a sample here and see a couple different samples of how this works. And so you can also just click create new, and they do have tutorials that you could follow. So before we do a blank one, I'll just show you a couple kind of samples. And so this one is using a layout which is basically going to behave like a website. Now I can just scroll my mouse and it goes right down, and you see these images come in with like a little animation. So it's got some nice little animation effects there. We've got like a full width one. So it's kind of engaging is the word I'm looking for. Sway is designed to be engaging. Now another way you can interact with this is using your finger. If this was on a touchscreen device, you could actually swipe down and it would work perfectly fine. And then the final way is pressing down on the keyboard. And as you can see, this kind of goes down by section. So here we're at the top of the picture, and then we go to the next picture, and then we go to this next picture. So they're almost coming up like in kind of sensible arrangements where you can actually see what's on the page. So that's loading the bottom of that paragraph, and then we're going up to the next big picture, and then we're going to the bottom of this paragraph, and then so on. So it's kind of going in an order that makes sense, if that makes sense. All right? And so in this case, it's almost like having a website, right? And so you could set something up. Oh, and look, it's got a video built in. So you could, this is just a YouTube video. So you can, for example, have this set up, almost like, showcasing what your website could look like. I mean, it's very limited in terms of customization. However, if you quickly wanted to put together a proposal, this would be an interesting way to do it, right? It's very interactive. It's got nice pictures. It's got nice animations, and it's very fast to design, and it's linkable. So it's all live. It's all online, which means you just share the link for this. You send this link to anybody, and they can open it and see it just as you intend them to see. All right. Here's your share button as well. So you get that embed code if you want to embed this into a website, which is another useful thing. So this is going to give you an iframe. If you guys don't know what iframes are, we're going to cover that in our introduction to Squarespace. And then you've got this setting here to change the layout, and we can actually do this without messing up the design at all. So I'm going to click from scrolls vertically to scrolls horizontally, and watch what happens. The whole document has now become more like a newspaper article or a magazine. And so it just allows you to very quickly adjust the style. Look, this image used to be a different shape. It's automatically scaling it to fit this new style, to fit this new look. And so this is, I guess, the power of Sway, is that it's dynamic, right? And it's not locked in a particular design. You design it once and it displays however it feels like displaying. It is limited in terms of what it can actually do, and a lot of it is automated, so you don't have very much control over exactly how it shows. But it is the benefit is that it just gives you this level of ease of doing. And so here, let's check out the last one, optimized for presentations. And so now we're getting it almost like a slideshow. So we're getting, oops, we're at the end here. Let's go back to the beginning. How do we go back to the beginning? Look at that. We've got this beautiful chapters menu here. When we select that, we get these nice, slideshow type thing. So here we go. And so now we're getting a totally different style. And so now we've got these cool animations that are moving around, and it's really engaging for audiences. And I cannot stress this enough. These very subtle animations make a big difference, right? They're not overkill. They're kind of nice, right? And then we scroll, and it automatically scrolls, so we get all the text there. And this is all automated. You don't have to program any of this. It just does it. That's just the benefit of Sway. And so for me, Sway is like a tool that if I wanted to put together a presentation showcasing something and I wanted to do it really fast and have it be engaging, I would use Sway. Especially if I wanted to embed it online or share it in an email or something like that. That is where I find Sway to stand out. I don't want to take the time to put together a PowerPoint or a Google Sheets presentation. I just want to throw something together really fast and have it look good. That's where Sway stands out. It's for that super fast. I mean, you can put a Sway together in about, half an hour and it'll look this good. Especially if it doesn't have very much text. And I would recommend, as always, as least text as possible for these types of things, right? Right. So that's showing you one file of Sway. Let's go back to the contents here and check out something totally different. So let's check out, let's see what this is. So here we go. We've got a totally new Sway here, and this one is scrolling to the right. And you'll notice just, very basic. No animations. Ooh, so this is interesting. So here we've got a stack of photos. So what do you think happens if I click on it? Oh, cool. You see, they're kind of reorganizing each other and themselves, and they're going around. And so it's like a scrollable, interactive photo gallery. And these are the kind of things that sway. So it says tap to flip through this stack. And again, it's very well optimized for touch as well. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. We're going to go to the next slide. And I think that might be the last slide. That's why we can't go any further. So as you can see, it offers these kind of pre-built custom animation and effects that will allow you to make things look good very quickly. So let's go create new and see how it looks in terms of the editor. This is it, guys. Super simple, super easy. So here you choose your design, and here you make your storyline. And this storyline doesn't change. So we'll go to design first, and we'll set our style. So first we decide how we want to design it, vertical, horizontal, or slides. I'm going to go with slides because I like those effects. And then you can customize your sway with custom colors, custom type, and custom textures. Or you can go ahead and select one of these presets. So I'm just going to grab this one because I like that font and it looks nice. And that's about it. As I mentioned, there's not much you can do in terms of the design for sway. So let's go back to storyline. And this is where you put the title in. So test sway. And you set the background image. And so when you click there, it's going to allow you to browse content from many places or upload your own. And so if you want to upload your own, you do My Device. If you want to just use Bing images, of course, this is going to be, this is a Microsoft thing, so it's probably going to be Bing. You can check this box to make sure you're only selecting Creative Commons. But again, it says right here, you are responsible for respecting others' rights, including copyright. So just because something is Creative Commons doesn't mean you have the right to it. So I'm using this as a sample, but just remember, if you guys are going to use this in any presentation, you have to double check what Creative Commons license they've used and make sure that you are crediting them appropriately. All right? This is just a test. So there you go. I've added my first card, and there's a few things that you can do with it. First, you can say emphasis or not. And so if I put an emphasis on something, it's just going to emphasize one word or not. If I put an accent on something, it accents that. If I link it, I can actually make it a clickable web link. And then focus point is going to allow you to select the focus point of the image. And so basically what this means is when it's cropping the image to different points and different shapes, it wants to know what are the areas that are the most important, right? So it's showing you different layouts, and it says Sway picks the best layout depending on your device and style. And so again, one of the benefits of Sway, you're not locked in with a certain aspect ratio, a certain layout. It adapts dynamically to any screen that you want to show it on. So let's say we want this kind of central lakey mountain region to be our focus point, but we really want it to be up here in these clouds so we get that nice kind of sky effect, right? Something like that. So there we go. Now we see how it's going to look. You can add more than one focal point if you like. To get rid of extra focal points, you just get rid of them by clicking on them again. And when you're done, you just say, yep, done. And you can also just say the entire image is a focal point. So when you're done, you just close that. And that's it. We've done our first panel. And so now we go to the next thing, and here's what we have in terms of our options. So these are just the suggestion ones, but basically you have three things: text, media, and group. That's it. So text will allow you to put in text. Media will allow you to put in media, whether it's uploading, embedding it, uploading audio, video, or images. And if we choose a video, it will even give us the option of putting a link in. So here's some, online videos that we can use as a sample placeholder. But again, you'd be perfectly able to, upload your own videos if you wanted. You go ahead and add your caption, and then this is interesting. So this is basically going to be the emphasis of the card. Is it subtle? Is it kind of moderate? Or is it super dramatic, intense? And so that will affect the behavior of the animations on that card, right? And so we can say, I don't know, owls. We'll give it a moderate animation. So then we can go in and we can do a text. We can do headings like this. And now we've created a section. And I can drag each of these cards around and reorder them at any time. And so basically what's happening here is I've now got section 1 as like its own little chapter, right? And so this is going to be the first little heading. Let's say first part. And you can go on like this doing whatever you want. So it's so easy to drag these images in, to change the images, to add a new image. It's just so user friendly. And that's why I like Sway so much. So let's go over to videos. We'll just go ahead and add that video down there. I'm going to click on this and add a new section. We can add a stack of images here. So this is an image stack. So let's go ahead and add some images to this image stack. Something like that. There we go. We've got an image stack. And then we'll go ahead and add a totally new... So we've got stack, we've got slideshow, comparison. You can do before and afters. You can set it to automatic. So we'll do an automatic group and see how that shows up. Let's put a video in there along with some pictures. And another video. Oh, those are 3 videos. Sorry about that. And if you want to remove something, it's super easy. Just delete it. If you want to move things around, you just grab them, move them up around. You can select multiple things at one time. So that allows you to grab 3 things at once or delete them if you want to, move things in more than one go. And then whenever you want, you can always just click play to test your current image or your current Sway. So this is the style that we picked. This is how it's going to come up. And we can change the style at any time. Don't worry. And if you notice, guys, the background is moving. The background is subtly moving, and that's another thing I love about Sway is when you get these big full screen images, they're not just static. It's going to kind of breathe. It's going to like zoom in and out just so it doesn't get boring, right? And so obviously we didn't design this very well because like everything is kind of the same in this, but you can customize each of these to display however you want. And so here we've got our image stack that we saw before looking real nice. And then we got this video, and now it's kind of breaking into different sections. We've got a video up here, we've got a video down here, and we've got an image there. And it's going to like scale them to fit that screen. And there's so many cool things you can do like this. So I want you guys to definitely try poking around in Sway and see what it can do, because it is an extremely powerful software. And it's very fast to put good looking presentations together. And that's really the last thing. You can export it. You can duplicate the Sway if you have something that you've already kind of set up. You can adjust the settings for that Sway over here in terms of permissions and visibility. And when you're ready to embed it into your website, you can also get embed codes or share links and all sorts of cool stuff. And so again, I want to encourage you guys to go get this program because it is free, and it is a very fun and easy way of creating some pretty darn cool looking presentations. So check this out. This one is also a vertical. Let's go ahead and click start editing this Sway. It's going to use this one as a template, and I'll show you kind of what it would look like if it's a finished presentation in terms of the design. So here you go. You'd have this block here, and then you've got this text card. Then you've got a group for activity 1. Then you've got an automatic group here, another text card down there. This is what it ends up looking like. And you can easily just drag this stuff around. I can just copy text right out of here, paste it somewhere else, whatever I need. I mean, that's it. This takes a few seconds to build, right? Not difficult at all. And then in a few seconds, you've got something that looks like this. And we can go ahead and change this to a different layout, and it's all going to scale dynamically. Let's go ahead and change it to presentation mode and see how that looks. I think the presentation mode is my favorite just because it has the most dramatic movement and animations and so on. Yeah, I really like that kind of effect. There we go. And now we're scrolling through different images over there. Food. And then it's giving us the 4 images with the little headings under them with the name of it. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for Sway. Like I said, just with these 2, we're not going to be spending that much time going through them. With these, I want you just to poke around and practice on your own, but I did want to introduce you to them as free tools that are available, and definitely has some good uses in terms of online presentations. I've used Sways before to do, for example, we had a online meeting with a bunch of managers where I was working, And to showcase a project that I was working on, I quickly threw together a sway that kind of had stills, video clips, and information and summary information about what I was working on. And I was able to quickly kind of throw that all together in about 20 minutes. And in the middle of the presentation, I was able to load up the sway and have everybody go through it together. And they could either do it on their own computer or they could watch my screen where I was screen sharing the sway. All right. So that's going to wrap it up. So for Google Slides and Microsoft Office Sway. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will catch you guys in the next videos.